once again. Welcome to the 21st episode of our weekly AI and digital marketing uh, demo. And for today, we are going to have a wonderful session about one secret feature in GoHighLevel. And this is one of the features that a lot of people don't even know exists in GoHighLevel. Before we proceed, I hope you heard what I just said. And I just want you to confirm by saying, let's go if you can see me, and say, I'm ready if you can hear me. So let's go. Let me see what's going on. All right, let's go. That means you can hear me. So, guys, thank you once again. And for today, we are going to talk about my favorite tool, and this is Go High Level CRM. And it has so many features that if you're a business owner or a consultant or a freelancer and you don't have this tool, then you are leaving money on the table. You are wasting money. You are throwing money away because it has so many features and they are releasing updates. They are adding new tools every week, every month, every year. So we are going to dig deep into one of these tools that a lot of people don't know about, and that is going to save you anything between $50 to $300. So let's dig it. All right, welcome to today's edition, and this is the 21st edition or episode of our weekly AI and digital marketing. And for today, the topic is all inside Go High Level CRM: close deals, collect signatures, and ditch expensive tools. And why do we have to get into this topic? This is a topic that a lot of people don't talk about. And I will tell you the reason why I thought that this was important to make a video on or make a demo on. Just about 3 months ago, I wanted to uh, upgrade my DocuSign and PandaDoc. And then one of my friends told me that why do you have to go pay for other tools when you can get this free on in Go High Level? And at that time, I didn't even know that this feature was in there. And that was an eye opener. And since then, I've been paying attention to Go High Level updates every week. I'm checking what they have, and anytime I want to buy a tool, I just go to the updates session, or I do a search on their help portal, and then I check out if they have that tool in Go High Level before I even go ahead to purchase that tool that I'm looking for. And most often than not, I will find this tool in there. So I'm very impressed with Go High Level, and for the price, you can beat it. This is one of the tools that I've been using for the past since 2018. Yeah, one of my coaches introduced me to this tool. I was using Katra and then I bounced to Go High Level, and since then it's been Go High Level. So let's get into the slides quickly, and then today I'm going to show you how to create documents and collect signature, and why is this so important. So this is for you if you are a freelancer or an AI consultant, just like me, or you are a business owner that sends out a lot of invoices, contracts, especially NDAs. Anytime you want to do a business transaction with a client or somebody, you need an NDA, or you need a document to bind you legally, or you have to give somebody an agreement. They made a payment to you, and you have coaching client. For me, it's coaching client. So agreements, soft agreement, something that is supposed to hold both of you accountable and also legally binding. And most often than not, what we do is we send emails for you to confirm, and this can, go get into the spam folder, or the person might not see it. It's just, you might even delete that email that person confirmed. So there have been tools. We have a lot of tools in the market like DocuSign and uh, e-signature, PandaDoc. All these tools will cost you between $15 to $50, depending on how many invoices you create, how many times you use it. And most often than not, you sign up to this tools subscriptions, and maybe you need only one or two in a month, and you are paying $15 for it, right? But if you have it in GoHighLevel, then you don't have to worry about. You can use it once a month or 10 times a month. You're still not paying for it because everything that you are paying for is already in the tool. And if you are an entrepreneur who knows there's a better way you can do things, paying for 5 tools, it's just crazy, right? You can reduce that cost. You can cut that cost without reducing your quality, and you can also automate your workflow. So let's say somebody signs up for your coaching program or your service, and you have to send them an agreement. Once they sign that agreement, you are going to get a notification. You probably have to send them some document. They have to make some payments. All these are workflows that you want to automate in the back end so that you don't have to continuously doing things manually. This can happen behind the scenes without you lifting a finger. So this is why this is so great. You want to have all your tools, you want to have all your tools in one tool, just like GoHighLevel CRM, so that all these different tools will be communicating with each other, and that makes things easier. Otherwise, you have to be using other tools like Zapier for them to communicate, and that is also going to be another extra subscription. That is what we are trying to avoid with this. So by the end of this session, you know exactly how to set this up. If you have GoHighLevel, if you don't know you have this in GoHighLevel, now you know. You can set it up. And also, if you're a business owner who sends out a lot of these documents, different documents, one for contracts, one for NDAs, all this, if you have a lot of them and you cannot manage them yourself, then you know who to call when you need this. We can help you. My team can help you build this and manage them for you. So yeah, and the average business owner is losing between 400 to 1200. For me, it's about 1800. If I'm not using this tool, the kind of tools that I use will cost me about 1800 if I didn't have GoHighLevel, which I only pay $97. So guys, let's go through some of these tools over here. Let's say this is your CRM, which is the green cross. You have proposal software, which we are just talking about. You have e-signature, where you have to ask people to sign. You have contract manager. You have payment gateway, the CRM itself, a booking tool like a Calendly, email marketing, invoicing people. Guys, all these things add up. $20 here, $10 here, $15 here, $50 there. And sometimes you even have a bandwidth that you can use. So the more you use as you grow, the more you pay. GoHighLevel is not like that. So looking at what we are going to talk about, look at how much DocuSign is costing some business owners, up to $45. I think I was paying $15 or so because I was on the basic and I couldn't do so much. PandaDoc is up to $50 a month. Calendly is $20 a month. Now I can have so many calendars in GoHighLevel. I can have up to, I don't know, but I have about 20 different calendars and I'm still not paying for any of them because I pay for one subscription and that's it. With Calendly, I only had one account. So, guys, this is a no-brainer. We talk about MailChimp for your email marketing, QuickBooks for your accounting stuff. You receive invoice for creating invoices. All of these tools are in here. And just looking at this right here, you are saving about $280 plus month just for these tools that we talked about. And there are many of these tools inside GoHighLevel and the GoHighLevel's hood. And I'm going to show you a couple of them. I keep showing every week. And let's see what we have next. And so why is it, why we use GoHighLevel as our main CRM of choice. And the reason is that it's a one platform, all the tools are under one umbrella. That means that they communicate with each other. That is so important because if you are somebody who wants to save time, you want to automate stuff. Now, if you have all your tools scattered around, then what you're going to need is you have to log in here, multiple login, passwords, and it's very cumbersome to manage. And at the same time, these tools don't talk to each other. So if you want them to communicate with each other, then you need a tool like N8N or Zapier or Make in order for them to, trigger actions and trigger events when an event happens. That is also adding another subscription fee to already what you have. So you don't want to go that route. You want to have everything in one to as much as you can. And GoHighLevel is one that can help you to do that. And it's designed for consultants, agencies, and businesses. You scale from solo to enterprise. So it doesn't matter whether you start as a solopreneur and you grow all the way to an enterprise level. You can always add on features and increase your bandwidth. But as a business owner with about, let's say, about 50 employees or 20 employees, I don't think you need more than that. The basic level for $97 is going to take care of you. And it's an all-round all all in one power, which is you have your CRM, you have your marketing, you have your automation. You can also do phone, email, SMS, social media, and I can go on and on and on. And the best part is now you have AI layer embedded in it. So now GoHighLevel is on steroids. Everybody is talking about AI, and you want AI to be part of your workflows. And GoHighLevel has AI in it right now. So you don't have to worry. Um, Now I do all my charts and everything in GoHighLevel because guess what? It's connected to Anthropic, which is Claude. And so all your text, the chat that, the question, the research that you do, you can do all that in GoHighLevel without paying anything extra. And that is a big game changer. I had Claude subscription, pro subscription. I had to cancel that for the $20 a month just because GoHighLevel had that Claude in it. Now I went back to Claude because I use CoWork, and CoWork is an agent that works on your desktop. So that is a little bit different, and you get that with a pro account. And that is the reason why I went back to Claude on the pro account. And you save a lot of money. You can replace up to 20 plus tools. I think that is even more than that. It's maybe 30 tools plus. It's crazy, and you only pay for 1 month subscription and one user, no per user tool fee stacking up. So let's say if you have a team and you have to add on team members, you don't have to pay for more seats, right? There are certain tools. I have a couple of tools that I have to log in as well as, my team and I use the same login because if you want to um, create a user for them, then you have to pay same amount of money that you are paying for uh, the subscription. And to me, I think that that is it sometimes it's a ripoff, right? And so I have to give my login to my employee to use my profile, but that is not a good way to track things. But let's take for instance, I have Descript, which is used to is used to edit videos. Now, if I am paying about $200 or 200 and $300 a year, now if I want to add another team member to it so that they can edit edit videos, then I have to pay another $300. And to me, that is it's crazy. With Go High Level, you don't have to. You can just add as many team members as you want, and that is great. So Go High Level is not just a CRM out there; it's your business operating system. Mm, looking at what other people are paying as far as tools are concerned to manage their businesses, this is what an average business owner is paying. E-signatures and proposals is between 45 to 120 a month. Appointment booking, that's a calendar, it's $15 to $29. Email marketing, 50 to $300. I can go on and on. SMS campaigns, CRM and pipelines. There are all these individual tools out there and people are paying for them. So that is why I said if you are paying $40, $50 or more for just one or even two tools, you are leaving money on the table. You are leaving money on the table. And that gives you about 1,800, maximum savings in just a month, right? You are replacing over 10 tools and a minimum monthly savings of about 525. So that is why I love Go High Level. And for today's demo, we are going to focus on documents and contracts. So why this? If you have a client and somebody signs up to your service or an offer or a product, or there's an agreement or there's an NDA, sometimes you have an idea you want to discuss with somebody and you want to make sure that they don't steal your idea. You want to have an NDA, right? This is so important, and this is legally binding. Sometimes you have to go and pay an attorney to do this for you, but if you have Go High Level, you can just use your AI to draft a contract and then upload it into this and send it to the other party. They sign it, you get it, you sign your part, and boom, this is like a legally binding document that you can keep. If tomorrow something happens, you have something, you have evidence, you have a paper trail to look. So today we are going to build a client proposal. We are going to give the service agreement, the NDAs. This is what you can do with this document. You can also enable payment so that whenever they sign the contract, you can ask them for payment if that is, if applicable. So this is what you can do with documents and contracts. You can send client proposals, service agreement, NDAs, legal contracts, and payments enabled so that once somebody signs, it creates an invoice for them automatically. You don't have to chase them, but they're gonna receive that email. And let me give you some of the use cases. Real estate documents, offers and leases and disclosures are handled digitally. You don't have to be chasing people with emails, as I said. Partnership agreements, you are partnering with somebody, you can use that just as you can use NDAs to do that. Formalized collaboration without the back and forth. Freelance and agencies statement of work. You give people deliverables, what you're going to do for them, they initial, they sign, and boom, you have a contract in place. So that tomorrow they can say that you didn't tell me this, or the other way around. You just want to make things professionally. And also reoccurring billing contract, you can set it once and it runs automatically. This is what I was talking about, workflows and automations and what have you. You don't want to have your hands all over the place, because these are little things that are very important, but at the same time they still away your time and they are not direct money making actions like you talking to clients and lead gen and all that kind of stuff. These are passive ways, and usually it's after that you've made that sale. So you don't want this to be dragging you and wasting your time. You want to automate this so that it can be repeated on a daily basis. And if you have ever sent a contract, you will know what I'm talking about. You send people contract and they haven't signed, it's in their email, they are going to sign, they print the paper, they have to sign their, put on their signature, make a scan and send it back to you. It's going to take 1 week. Back in the days when I used to operate a transport business, you get a job, you have to print this, and if you don't have a printer, then you are screwed. You're not gonna get a job, right? You have to print it out, sign it, and then scan. Now, if you don't have a printer, that's it. Because of that, I purchased a portable printer that I had with me all the time. If I'm in the car and I get a job, I can just print it out, and then on my phone, you connect my phone to the printer, print it out, and then sign it, scan it, and email it back. It takes about 45 minutes minimum to do that. Now with this, you don't have to. It happens within minutes, if not seconds. So this is where we are going, and that is where what you have to be incorporating into your business. You have to work smarter. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so this is the demo that we are going to have today. And what you get with GoHighLevel document. So yeah, I think this, I'm rehashing this just for you to really understand that it's legally binding for e-signature. So you don't have to worry about, you don't even need a lawyer or an attorney in this. But a disclaimer here, if this is something that you need an attorney to overlook, please, do that. But I'm not a qualified person to speak on that. And so, just for disclaimer purposes, if you think that you have to see a lawyer, please do so. And also, you have payments inside the contract. So you can set payments where wherever you send, whenever you send a contract, once they sign, then they have the opportunity to pay the invoice without you having to manually create an invoice and sending it to them. It's mobile friendly, so people can sign on the move. And also you can automate this in the back end. Like I said, you can put them in the pipeline. So let's say, for instance, you sign up a client, they sign the signature, they make the payment, they have to move into a different lane or a different swim lane, and that is called the pipeline. Now, if you don't have a pipeline in your system, then you don't know where each client is in the process. So you have clients who just sign up, clients who just finish onboarding, maybe clients who are in training, clients who just got their offer or service delivered, and you have others who are past clients. So this helps you to put them in different swim lanes or in a different pipeline, and you have reusable templates. So you don't have to recreating templates and contract every now and then. Once you have one in place, you can reuse it, and using say custom variables like first name and all that. Anytime you use it, is going to pull out the client's first name or the customer's first name or their full name, and kind of give them a customized document. And you can also have multiple signers. So let's say you are dealing with a client and maybe three people need to sign, or maybe you are a group of four people trying to put a business together. The four of you can all sign in an order, right? Okay, once I sign, you have to sign, then the next person, and then the fourth person signs, and it becomes a legally binding document. So that is, um, yeah. And then this is what it doesn't do by itself. Documents and contract doesn't work alone. I think I've talked about this already. So this is the visual of it. Like I said, this is the document and contract. You have the pipeline and opportunities. You have the workflows, automation, onboarding, and all that. You can even schedule an appointment on your calendar once they pay. Maybe they have to book a call with you, right? Maybe it's a coaching call. So once that person pays, they can book a call. For instance, if I give you my consulting calendar, then once you book that appointment, before you can book the appointment, you need to make a payment. Once you make the payment, you get a document with a contract, and then once you sign that, it might move you to a calendar that you can book a call to talk. So these are the kind of workflows you can implement, payments and invoices, and trigger emails and text messages. And we are going to see all of them today as we do the demo. So one signed contract, six things can happen automatically. No manual work. You don't lift a finger. Everything is set up once and it runs forever. So first step is, let's say you send the contract and then the client signs and make payments if applicable, automation kicks in, and then everybody gets notified. Just like, when you purchase an insurance and your insurance company sends you the agreement, you sign, and then it goes back. And then once they also sign, you get an email with a package saying that this is your document, blah, 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 blah. You know how it works. It's the same way. So it's demo time. This is my favorite part. This is where we tell you how things are done. We don't just talk about it. As usual, I love to show the slides because it helps to give the big picture, why we are here today, what we are going to do, so that you understand. You're not just going to see me clicking things around, because sometimes I go through very fast. So this is the moment of truth. And if you're already thinking that you need this setup for your business, you have a lot of them, but you don't have the time, or you can figure it out yourself, then we will be happy to work with you, set it up for you for a small fee. And if you are interested in that, you can always use the link. Work with me, my calendar. You can book a 30 minutes free consultation, and we can talk about your business goals, and we can implement some of this stuff for you. And if you are not using GoHighLevel, then I recommend that you test it out. You can start a free trial for 15 to 14 to 30 days, and you can test it out without a credit card. And I know that you are going to love it. So guys, time to show the demo, and I'm excited about it. We are going to dig into GoHighLevel, and we are going to build some contracts right away. So let's go. All right, so we are in GoHighLevel as usual. You want to be in that account that you are working on. I'm in my demo account and I'm on the dashboard. What you are looking for right now is you are looking for the payment session. Now, guys, before I continue, I want to know if you guys still can hear me and this is making sense to you. If you are getting some value out of this, please give me some ones. Let me know if this is going great. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I will answer them, or Sandrine will answer them. And also, if you want to build along with me, log into your GoHighLevel account. You can still sign up. The link is there. Sandrine provided the link, so you can sign up right now and take that journey with me right away. And if you don't have it, make sure you get it. So let me know in the chat if this is great. You're getting some value out of it. Also, let me know how you are going to use this. What are you doing? What is your workflow? What kind of business are you running? And how are you going to apply this? If you have GoHighLevel, did you know about this? Let me know in the chat and see. All right. So are you sharing your screen? Yeah, I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay. So I guess all this while I wasn't sharing my screen. Anyway, thank you very much for letting me know. If I wasn't sharing my screen, I can go back and, show you what I was talking about. But, I've been busy going back and forth with all this stuff. But yeah, let me go back quickly and show you what I was talking about. So these are all the slides, and I apologize if I didn't share my screen. This is it here. It's not really important, but I wanted you to have a visual about what I was talking about. And I can share this as well if you guys need it. Let me know in the chat so that you can have, you can understand what I was talking about. But this is it. Nothing much. Here, the most important thing is to go to the demo and build this manually. So yeah, we are here right now. You have to select your demo account. I mean, for me, it's the demo account, but you can select whichever account you want to build this in. So if you are a consultant, you might have so many clients that you are working for. So you want to select the right account and use it. For me, I'm using the demo account today. And where you want to go is you want to be on the payments. Contracts and documents can be found under payment. So this is where you want to go. So you go here and this is the dashboard. So on this dashboard, on this page, you have invoices, documents, and contract. This is what we are concerned about today. And also we have other subscription, payment links, transaction, products, coupons, gift cards, settings, and integrations. Before I continue, I see a message in the chat, so let me read it. All right. Let's see. We are using QuickBooks and excited to learn. All right, Felix. Yeah. All right, Felix. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're gonna see how you can even connect your QuickBooks, or you might ditch your QuickBooks if you don't like it, or you are paying too much for it. But you can integrate your QuickBooks to it. If you have a lot of assets in your QuickBooks, you can integrate that with it and they are going to communicate. And so you can create invoices here or you can create invoices in your QuickBooks. Whichever is convenient to you, you use that. But if you create invoices here, the automation makes things simple because it can trigger things, right? But if you have things in books. Yeah, once you integrate it, then it's going to help to automate some of these things. So, yeah, for here, we are not going to discuss invoices. But anyway, Felix, thank you very much for the feedback. And yeah, guys, let me know. Let me know how you are going to use this. Let me know how you are going to use this documents and contracts and let the questions flow. For invoices and estimates, we are not going to talk about it, but you have that feature here so you can create your invoices. And Felix, this is to you. You can create all your invoices, all the recurring invoices. And the reason why it's so great to have them here is that this is going to send you reminders, right? You don't have to log into, let's say, your QuickBooks to see what is going on. Everything happens under one roof, and most of the time if you have your crm, this is your business software, and most of the time you are going to be in this too. So if you are here, you're going to be seeing everything. You're going to be seeing notifications popping up, what is due, what is not due, all those kind of stuff. You're going to see them here. You come here, you're going to see the dashboard, what is due, what is not due, and what have you. Now the part that, and I'm talking to Felix again, and I was going to talk about this here, is the integration. So this is where you can add third-party applications like Stripe. If you use Stripe to process credit card, for me, it's Stripe. If you use QuickBooks, you can add it here. If you have PayPal, you can connect it here. So you can see a lot of different payment portals that you can connect. If you have Square, you can connect it here, and you can even set for more, right? You can set for more now. If you configure it, then you can manage it. Once you see manage here, it means that that app is connected. So integration is where you do all those things. When you go to settings, you have things like how you want your receipt to look like. You enable automatic sales receipt for payments, right? So anytime somebody makes a payment, boom, they get that. So all these are features, even though we are going to talk about documents, but these are all part of it. They are like sub-elements under documents and contract because they go hand in hand, and that is why I'm taking a few minutes to explain this part to you, so you know other features that you are going to get that you won't get from all these other tools that sell all these standalone tools. And you can set up your receipt here, the receipt number. You can set it up here, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be here. um, Taxes, if you take taxes, you want to set it up here, whether it's 8%, 9%, whether you collect taxes before, or you don't collect taxes but you pay them later. I'm not a tax expert, so I cannot advise you on this. Talk to your accountant. If you want to set this part up. Notifications, this is where you send notifications. Team notifications, if you want to notify the customer or your team, you can do that. Shipping and delivery information, if you are doing e-commerce, you want to put all this information here so that people who buy, let's say you have 7-day delivery policy, 2-day delivery policy, like Amazon, you buy today, you get it tomorrow, that kind of stuff. You put all your information. Subscriptions, there's so much you can do here. You can even create payments links, so you can create payments link for different services, and you have them in your back pocket or somewhere on your phone. Anytime you talk to a client and you have to send them a text message or something like that, yeah, let's say you've created a payment link for, let's say, one of your coaching program. As soon as they say they are ready, if you're on the go, you have that saved somewhere on your phone. You can just give them that payment link and it takes them to the checkout. And so I just wanted to show you this. You can create gift cards here. You can create coupons. If you are doing a promo, you can create coupons and put expiry date on them, coupon code. Guys, you can create your products here and connect your shopping cart like Shopify into this. So let's say if you are an e-commerce person, you sell jewelry, you sell shoes, you sell products, you can connect your card to this, create your product here, and everything will be running in the background. Guys, you cannot go wrong with this. You cannot have all these tools in one tool. And GoHighLevel they have this strategy, and this is my own thought. I think that they want to be like, they want to take all the market share of every tool that is out there, and that is why they're still charging what they are charging and just incorporating different suite of tools into GoHighLevel, and they are taking the market. They are taking the market. I mean, I've canceled so many subscriptions just because I have GoHighLevel now. Payment links, like I said, you can see all your transactions here, payment links, subscriptions. If you have a subscription where people pay monthly, you can see, have an overview over here, like a bird's eye view. Orders, people who order things from you, you can see everything here. If you are connected with your cart, you can see the abandoned checkout, you can see orders. And ultimately, we come to what we are going to do today. So for the next few minutes, we are going to create a document or a contract from the scratch, and we are going to send it to a customer, let the customer sign, and then we sign our part, and see if we are going to get an email. So guys, let's go. So first of all, you come to contract and documents, documents and contract, you click new. Once you click new, it's going to ask you, do you want to upload a PDF load? So let's say you have a PDF about a contract that um, your attorney drafted for you, and you have that in an email. You say that on your computer, you want to upload that. You can upload this, so it has an upload feature where you can attach an artifact. You can do that. You can also import from a template of pre-made templates or contracts or documents, depending on your industry. We are not going to use that, but this is where you see that you can see different documents for investment advisor approval, hair salons, car washing. Depending on your niche, there is so much that you can pick from, right? Insurance, legal, marketing agency, and you can take this and tweak them, modify them. Let's say, for instance, for this car washing details template, I haven't even seen one before, but you can use this and you can put your logo and customize this for yourself, and then you can send it out to the clients, whatever the agreement is, right? So these are just templates that you can use. We are not going to do that. We are going to build one from the scratch. So we are going to go back here and say new, and then new document. So let's say, for instance, we want to create a document for, let me just come up with something, uh, maybe payment agreement for a service that you are providing. So let's start right now. So before I start, I want to get this branded, like, my with my company, my branding information. So first of all, I'm going to name this, right? So I'm going to name this as, let's say, payment agreement for uh, what? Let me think about service. Payment agreement for email email marketing, right? Email marketing. And guys, this can be whatever you provide. It can be an NDA. It can be anything that you want to do. Yeah, you can change it for wherever you want. So I can also copy this again and use it at the title at the top, right? So here I just want to add an element. And first of all, before I go, yeah, so I come here, I want to add my business logo or my whatever logo you want, whatever you want to do. You can just send this assets if you like, with the right information, but I want to add a logo. So I will drop my image element here, and then I want to upload an image. And so let's say I go into my upload folder, and GoHighLevel also has a media storage portal where you can store all your images. If you don't have it there, you can always come here and use the upload feature to bring that image into GoHighLevel media storage, and you can use it anytime you want. So I'm going to select this logo, and I will say, I will adjust the height here, and I will just do 50, 50 by 50. So I do 50 by 50, and I'm gonna have it there, small. I can even add the name of the business if I want to. You can do so much here. You can either toggle it to the left or right. This is the settings. Let me highlight on it. You can put it in the left or right. You can, full color, black and white, whatever you want to do. You can add a background if you want. I'm not gonna waste time on that. And let's say I want to add another element. I can use the text. Let's say I want to put the name of my business. Yeah. So yeah, I can say, let me put demo business, demo business, right? And here I can say um, payment agreement. So let me copy this topic, this header, and then I can put this here. And I can even customize it with, let's say, um, if I want to customize this as the client's name, I can even do that. So let me do this. I can go to, um, let's see here, custom values here, account, user, um, let's see, name. Okay, so I will say name. Uh, no, that is the name of the business. So, and we can use that, this value, we can use it here if we want, but let's remove this. That is the location name. We want to do contact dot first name or full name. That is going to bring that contact first name or full name. So that is kind of a customization here. And then what else do we want to add? We want to add a few things here. So I would say payment agreement. So maybe I can do a table. So I come back here and then I can say, add a product list, right? Guys, I'm going to just use this stuff just to show you what you are capable of doing, not necessarily how you're gonna do it. So I can add a page break here, and then I will add a product list. So let's say I'm selling a product. I can put a product here. Let's say I have a couple of products, so I can add this product. So I come here, you have to create that product first, right? Before you can add it. If you don't have the product there, you cannot add it. So here, the product is not there. But if I had a product, then I will be able to add it and then add the price. Now it can ask you to create a product and you can create it on the fly. Right here, you can create it product um, X, right? Product X, product X, and then you can put that description for the product, and then you can put the product type. Is it a digital, physical goods or a service? I would say maybe it's a service, and then I would say maybe email marketing. That is what we have on the title. So let's make it look real. And then maybe what's the price name? Email marketing price, um, and then marketing price. The amount is, let's say, maybe 200, and it's in US dollars, right? We can save this for later. If this is something that keeps on reoccurring, you can do it right away. Or if it's just a one-time offer that you are providing, sometimes you want to give a customized um, price to somebody, you are giving them a discount or something like that. So in that case, you don't check this. But if you don't check, if you check it, then this is going to be something that you can always use. So when you go to that product session, just before the page, before we got here, you can pick it in the drop down. So let's leave this for here for future demo. So I'm going to add this, and now we have a product here. Now we have a product, and I can do this one time or reoccurring. Now, because I have payments linked when I showed you the integration, it can ask me to enable payment for this particular agreement or invoice or whatever. And once I enable this, this is going to create an invoice automatically. So I don't even have to be on the invoice or page to create it. This is going to create it for me automatically once they sign the invoice. And then if they have a card on file, and they've agreed to be billed, let's say monthly or every time they sign a contract, you can even enable this so that this can be reoccurring. But this is grayed out because the product is not a reoccurring thing. If you want to charge that or activate this, then you have to do that reoccurring, and you can do that on the product level. So let's close this for now. And maybe we want to add another item, so maybe email marketing for, we can name it January, and display items. These are the elements that you can control about the the product, right? So that is, we've added one product. Let's do something else. Let's say we want to add another element, like a table where we have a list of different products. Maybe we don't have a product that we want to, but we want to add a couple of things. So here we have this thing here. We have this table here, and let's say we have service, and then we have amount. Okay. So this is another way you can do it if you are doing a customized thing. And here is how you can add more rows. You can center this. You can center this and put this in the middle. So I like my things in the center, so I can put it here. I can add more rows if I want. Below, you can add some above. You can add a column on there, add one more column, and then say, put whatever you want to put. I'm going to delete that. Let me see. Okay, it's not. So let's put here description. Um, or we can delete it. You can delete all this stuff here. You can delete a column, or so. I'll just put a description here, and then I will center this, and then maybe I can say, um, you know, what other service can I provide? Let's say monthly maintenance, maintenance, um, and monthly maintenance, same thing. Whatever you want to describe it, and then maybe the amount is, let's say, $20, and then SMS text or campaign, uh, SMS campaign, and description here, and then you put the amount, let's say $35. $35. Let's add our currency sign, and here we can add this. So there's so much you can do, right? If we want to add more, but we are going to stop here and then think about the most important part of this, which makes it legally binding. And guys, it's not always about receipt or invoice or payment. This can be an actual document, like a contract between uh, uh, A and B, right? Client A versus the business, or whatever you want to do. So this is just an example. I can copy a whole document about an agreement, and then I'll put it there, put people's names. So now let's move on to the next element, which is very, very important here. So now you know where to find your elements. This is the fillable parts, right? The signature, the text field where you put the name, the dates, initial, if they have to check a box to read that they read the terms and condition and they understand. This is where you have to do all this stuff, right? And then card details, if they have to add payments to their card. So let's add this element. So first we are going to add the signature, right? The signature is going to be here. Now we have one signature. You can move this all the time if you want. Now you can see that this is in green, which means that we don't even know who is going to sign this. But let's continue. Let's build this up, and then we want to add a text field. So we add a text field here, and we move it let's see, we move it here, and then we add another one, maybe a date. Usually, you want to track the date as well, the date that they signed. So that is another thing. We bring it here. And this one, a lot of people, for me, I have a very long name, so I will open this up a little bit. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So this is it. And then you have the dates here. And then once you do this, you want to, it's a two-party thing. Either it's one thing they have to sign and bring it to you. Sometimes it has to be both ways. So you sign, they sign, right? That means that you have to have two. And if it's three people, you need three of the same things. So this one, we have three things that are very, very important, mandatory for everybody to sign. And the red tags here tells you that this is a required field. So all that I'm going to do is to clone this. I clone this and then I move it here. This is just drag and drop. I clone this as well and then I move it. You always have to click somewhere to move this and you make sure that they are always aligned, right? Looks professional. And then you clone this as well and you bring it, make sure they align. And now this is done, okay? The next thing is maybe we want to add, let's say, initial or terms and condition, but whatever we want to write, we're going to use a text box. So we bring the text box here and let's see. So we take, all right, let me see, add an element. I want this to be here. All right, it wouldn't go. Okay, it looks as if this is the last thing that it will do. So I will bring these guys here and then bring this. Now, here I'll say maybe terms and conditions, right? Terms and conditions, terms and conditions. And maybe there's a link, you have a link to these terms and conditions. So it's on your website. You can grab that link. And what you can do here is to add a hyperlink. And you can do that here. So for your business, wherever you have your privacy policy or disclaimer or terms and conditions, you come here and then you put that link here. So it will be example, maybe www example.com, which is where your terms and conditions sit and what you want it to do. I will always want to open a new window. So I say that and then I save and then you can add whatever you want over here. Read, please read and sign whatever, you can be whatever message. And then let's see if we can add another box, we can do the checkbox or initial. That means that they've read the terms and condition and initial. Now you know how to drag and drop. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. Now we are done with this, but one thing that we haven't done is to who is going to sign where and what, right? They are both in green. That means that it hasn't been assigned to anybody. Now, before I show you that, let's look at what we have here. So we have pages. So if you want to add more pages, it's either you hit the enter or you drag your elements into the next page, or you can just simply add a page. Here is the document variables. That is what I was talking about. You can pick different variables, the date that the document was created, the document number, you can change all that, and also the account information. So anything that I want to be on this invoice or on this agreement, I can copy that and put it there. And once I send it, it's going to populate, use that information, this information like the document sub account name is called demo account. This is going to, populate all those features. Here is where you pick the recipient, right? And this recipient has to be in your contact list. If they are not there, then you have to create them. But if they are there already, you just have to pick it up. This is a new feature that they added, and this is where you can get content library. Anything that you are looking for, it's probably going to be here. We are not going to go into that. And then here is where you can turn on the payment. You remember we were on this page, it popped up automatically because we already have a payment integrated. That is why you saw it here. And here is where you can override the email settings, right? So you have a global email settings, which is going to be the company email, the company information. If you are sending this and you want to change it, let's say this is just a personal thing that I'm doing with somebody and I don't want to use my company information, all that I'm going to do is to override this email configuration, and then I put my name and my email, whatever that is, like it's coming from my Yahoo, right? You can personalize that if you want, but for this, we are a business, so we are going to keep it like that. So now I'm going to select who my client is, the person that I'm supposed to send this to. And then what I want to do is to set a signing order. What this feature does is that it will tell you who signs first, right? So for me, if I'm sending you a contract that both of us have to sign, then I want you to sign, you send it to me, I sign, and then you get it back that way. Or maybe there's four of us, but we must send them in turns. If I activate this, then you, as if I don't sign, or the first person doesn't sign, the second person will not get it to sign. It has to be in that order. So I'm going to set this up for this one, and I've created a fictitious client. Her name is Sarah, and she's using my email and my phone number. That way I can test it so you can see. And here we can add more. If there are more people, we can add more, like all this example fake emails and contacts that I have, we can add them. So if we want more people to sign, this is where we do that. Now we have that. So Sarah is going to be signing. And what we want to do is that now we see that Sarah has to sign both places. That's not what we want, right? We want Sarah to sign one and then we sign one. And so I will leave the first part for Sarah to sign, and then I'm going to sign the second one. So here, I come here, I click on it. It's going to open the settings pop-up or dialog, and then I'm going to select myself or whoever is in the company to sign on your behalf. So I select myself, and now you can see that this is in a different color to let you know that I've selected a different person to sign. And here we have to do that for all the elements we have here. So I have to select myself here as well. And then the date, I have to select myself as well. And that's it. Now this is ready to go. It's ready to send. Okay, so let's save it. And then we can even save it as a template, right? So let's do this. Now, if I don't save this as a template, then every time I run into a similar situation, then I have to recreate this, right? You don't want to do that. You want to work smart. So we can save this and save it as a template. But now let's try to send it right away. So now it's going to send the document, and then we can also decide whether we want to send just an email, or we send an email and a text message, or just a text message, SMS, right? I already have message that have been created already for such things. So it knows what is going to pick. But if I'm not happy with it or I want to change the message, I can always go to the edit feature, and then I can change the message that I want to send them. So this is where you do that. So, hey, hi, document recipient, first name, blah, 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 blah. Send you a document. You have to click below to see the changes. If I want to add something, I can add something here. For the sake of this demo. I'm not going to change that. And so we just going to save that, and that is ready to go. Or you can even use the AI feature to build your own message that you want to send, right? We are not going to use that feature as well. So we can click here, and now we are ready to send. For this, I'm going to send only an email because I don't have a phone number connected to this for it to send me a text message. So we are going to send this to an email. And mind you, this is also optimized for mobile. I'm not going to test it on mobile. I want to show you guys because it's very hard to see what is happening on my mobile. So I'm going to show it to you in an email once I send it. So boom, this is sent, and I can come back here and then check my dashboard. So once you send it and check the dashboard, it's going to tell you that it's waiting for someone to sign, right? It's waiting for somebody to sign. These are completed ones already. So once we come here and we go to all documents and contracts, that is where we are right now. Oh yeah, we should have saved this as a template. Let me see here. Convert to a template, right? This is very important, and it's good that this happened. I was talking about it, but I forgot to save it as a template. Every time that you don't want to repeat this, you want to save it as a template so that every time you can, you can reuse this all the time. So we want to convert this. This has been sent already, but we want to convert this into a template so that it can be reused over and over again. So we click convert to a template, and it's going to save it as a template. Now we have this saved as a template. So when we go back, let me save. Then here, yeah, it's already used as a template, save as a template. So let's go back. Uh, let's go back. It wants us to, yeah, okay. And then let's go check under the templates and let's see if we are going to see that. So if we go to template, now we have a template here. This is the one we just created. Look at the time that no, this is the time, right? 12:07. We just created this. It's 12:08 right now. So this is the template. We can reuse this over and over and over and over again. Now let's go and check because I've sent this to Sarah. So let's check if Sarah has the email. So I'm going to bring my email and see if Sarah got it. Dig for the email. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm not displaying people's information. So let me blur this out first before I bring it. There's a lot of confidential information, and I don't want to get into trouble with YouTube. So let me make sure that I don't expose any um, private information. So yeah, all right. So I'm good to share. So over here, as you can see, I have I have the information. So it says demo account, right? But usually it will be the name of your company, payment agreement for whatever. So I click on this. It's gonna open the email, and it says what, document for Sarah Johnson. Remember when I used that first name, the custom values? So it has personalized this for Sarah Johnson. If it's your name, it's going to be your name, and it says, "Hi, Sarah Johnson. Excuse me, demo account sent you a document," just like, Progressive or Geico Insurance sending you a document to sign. And then you view the document. Like I said, you can always customize this, and my name is there, and the name of the business is also there. So all that I need to do is to click this. Now, after sending this is also going to send me an email with something similar. So let me go here, and then let's see. Um, all right, so I sent it. Let me check the junk. It's not there. Right. So this person has to sign first. So I'm going to be like, I'm Sarah. I'm going to sign. I'm going to view the document, and I'm going to sign it quickly. So now um, I have it here. It says start filling, right? Email marketing, $200. Okay, blah, blah, blah. And monthly maintenance, 20, whatever. Because I use a product, it's only going to use that $200. It's going to collect that 200. Maybe that is what they have to pay first time before, but like I said, let's start filling. And now I have my name here, my signature. I have to fill wherever it's required. That is what is going to happen. So I click on here. I select whatever, I can even change the color, whatever I want. Black, Sarah Johnson. I sign. I enter my name here, Sarah Johnson. And then the date will be for me. And then boom, that is today's date. Uh, and then I finish, right? I have to just finish and complete. And then this is going to redirect me. Remember, we were, trying to collect money from this client. So now, I didn't even go and create any invoice for myself, but this has created an invoice automatically on the fly with, the name of the business, the phone number, the address, whatever, bill to Sarah with their information, invoice number, the date, the due date, it's 27th. That was set, in the back end. Usually gives you like a week or something like that, but you can change that. And the subtotal is what it is, $200. So this amount is due. And this is going to remind the customer that they have to pay this. So if I have to pay this, all that I need to do is to click the payment, and then it takes me to the checkout, right? Now, this is where if you don't pay, then it goes into that abandoned checkout and all that. You can use those information, that record, to like, contact the customer back for uh, things that have been missed. Now we have that signature, right? So let's see what we also got. We also got this here. Let me clean this up a little bit. And then we go into this account and document for me to sign, right? Because it's two parties. So Sarah just signed, and now I get an email to sign. If I didn't check that box, then we would have received the email at the same time. But this was scheduled in such a way that Sarah had to sign before I signed. So now I have to sign, and then I view the document, same thing. I'm going to sign my part, and this is me here. So I have to sign my part, and then maybe, I would change the style and accept, and then I will put my name, Eric Chain, and then I will select the date, today's date, and finish. Now, this is going to trigger a workflow in GoHighLevel, and is going to send me another email, let's say, um, to tell me that the contract is done, right? But this takes a little bit of time because it has to do a little bit of things, verify so many things, pull information. Now, I don't know if you heard it, but there's been an email that has been sent to my inbox, and then another one to my work email. And what this is saying is that it's telling Sarah that this has been signed, and so this is the agreement, this is the package, right? Document signed successfully, and I can download the document, right? This is to confirm that we have duly received your signature on the below document. Please find attached copy of for your reference. Boom, that is there. Now I also receive an email that this has been signed successfully. So I come here, it says that the document has been signed, and pretty much the same thing. It double sends it to the owner. So that is that. Now let's go back to GoHighLevel and see what is going on. Um, GoHighLevel and see what is going on. Now, when we get to GoHighLevel, we want to go into our invoices and contract again, the dashboard, and see what is happening. It says here completed, right? 2. Now, Sarah has finished signing the agreement for email marketing. So here, if we want to see, we want to know what is going on, we can, download this file. And this is very important. Let's say in, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road, there's a misunderstanding between you guys, and Sarah is denying that they didn't sign anything. This is your reference, and also this is what you can use in court just in case you get to that point. Most often than not, nothing happens, right? So here, you come here, you download this file, and this is what you're going to see. Here, you are going to see what was signed. And another thing that I want to show you is the page 3. Now, the page 3 has information about their IP address, their location, and all that kind of stuff. This is golden because this shows that they actually signed it. They cannot lie because it has their computer IP address, their network IP address, the date and time they signed, and even the geographic location. I'm going to show you that. I have to blur that because it has my um, IP information, which I cannot share. So let me just share. Let me just blur it out before I can share. All right. So this is to show that we are able to. All right, so let me do this. I have to take a screenshot instead because of the nature of this information. The blurring software wouldn't allow me to blur this. So I'm going to screenshot the certificate and block this information. Gosh. So okay. So this is good. This is good. This is good. All right. So I think everything else looks great. So now let me share this with you. And this is the certificate that is legally binding. And let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit so you can read it. How do I enlarge this? Um, anyway, I don't think I can enlarge this, but let me see. Zoom, all right. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Yeah, so I hope you can see, but you can see like the information here. It was viewed May 13, 2026. It was signed at this time, 4:13 p.m. UTC. Mine, the time I signed mine, 3 minutes after. My IP address is there. Sarah's IP address is there. It's going to be the same in this case. Location is Miami, US, Miami, US. So you get the whole idea. This is your legally binding certificate for your agreement. And you don't need any complicated, expensive software to do this. So guys, as you can see, this is something that a lot of people who have GoHighLevel don't even know exists in GoHighLevel. And those of you who are paying for more tools, subscription, you need to study this is what you can save. You can save over 200, $300 just for these two things that we talked about with the payment integration, the invoices, the subscriptions, the payment links, the products that you can create, and the orders, following up with abandoned checkouts and all that. So you saw the value there, and I hope this was valuable to you. If this was valuable, please give me some tools in the chat. Let's wrap this up and go. And so just to recap what we've done in the last, let's say 30 to 45 minutes, we've built a branded proposal template. In this case, it was more of an invoice because I wanted to show the payment feature of contract and documents. So that is why I didn't just go with like a whole text agreement. We also added dynamic fields like email, the blogs, the logo, and all that. You saw how we did that. We sent it via email, and there you saw the option where you can add SMS. You can send it to their phone and email at the same time. We showed you the emails, evidence of what we did, and you saw that it worked. Showed you the emails of both parties and how to collect payment directly with the contracts, and also showed you and I talked about the possibility of workflow automation which can happen once signature is collected, like setting up onboarding or sending them an email inviting them to join the class and what have you. There's so many things that you can, and I also showed you the legally binding agreement between the two parties in an audit download. And this is worth about $300, $400 that you are going to save if you are able to implement this in your business. And so I hope this was valuable. And if you want to try GoHighLevel, we are going to drop the link to you in the chat. And also, if you are a business owner, you want this to be built for you. I mean, if it's just one or two, I think you can build this yourself, right? But if you have more to build and you don't have the time, you are busy chasing clients, bringing in more income to the business, we can build this for you for a small fee. You can use my calendar to schedule a 30 minutes free consultation, and I'll be happy to discuss more things that we can do to help your business. And if you are a burnout tech professional who is trying to start your own AI consulting business, or you are just tired of, corporate world and you want to start your own business in the AI and digital marketing space, then I have a program is a 6-week program that we go through to laser focus on the blueprint of how you are going to do this, right? We go through at 6 weeks, we meet on a weekly basis, and we meet in the evenings where I give you all the blueprints. I walk the same path, and I want to share this journey with you. By the time you finish this 6-week program, you are going to come up with what you want to do in your field, whether you are a project manager, a software developer, or a security analyst, whatever, or just being a regular professional. I know that there is a skill that you have a hobby that you want to teach other people, you have a skill that nobody has, right? These are things that you can brand it with AI and be able to solve problems that people are willing to pay. So let me know. The link is going to be in the chat. Go there, take that AI survey, and see where you are within the AI journey. And if you are interested, sign up for the cohort. Is starting very soon. In the next 3 weeks, we are starting a cohort, and you can join and learn more about it. And it's going to be amazing. So, guys, I hope this was really valuable and you loved it. And please come back next week. We are going to meet same time, 11 a.m. EST, 3 p.m. GMT. And also, as usual, this is what I ask. If you can, it's not required for you to join the class, but please share this with other business owners who might be throwing money away. Share this with other consultants or people who are just tired and they want a different perspective about life, about business. Share with them and like this channel. Comment in the comment section. I'm going to answer them, and subscribe if you are not a subscriber yet. And on that note, once again, thank you and see you next week. Namaste.